Hi Sanjay, how are you? Good to see you.
Well. Yeah, same here, same here.
You're staying strong.
Everyone.
New world. Okay, so I think I'm going to start right now. It's already 9:05 p.m. So let's not delay. It's already 9 p.m. and then I'm sure people want to go to bed after this. So can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You can hear me, just thumbs up. And could you please open up your video so that we know we are talking to people?
This.
You're having a meeting?
Oh, is this Navada Dr. Sanjay Nandankai is talking about it in Huh? Not Manisha.
No, that girl.
Honey, no.
That girl, I recognize.
Veena.
There's another girl from. Are you mute? How can they hear you?
So I'm wondering, what did I do wrong?
Okay, please start your videos, please. I have requested all of you to start your videos. If you can, that would be helpful so that we know we're talking to people on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to start anyways. Can you just kindly mute yourselves at the moment, and we need y'all to unmute. We'll request y'all to do so because we want to avoid all background noise at the moment. Yeah, just mute yourself, but make yourself visible as possible. Okay? Good. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Naveda's Zoom webinar once again. Some of you have been attending our webinars since the last few times that we've been having. This is a new world for us at the moment, you know, social distancing. Definitely, thank you for turning up. I'm sure there are a lot of questions you have about COVID-19. Want to learn about the current status and how it started and how do you actually keep preventing and taking precaution measures. Okay, things are looking very positive in Hong Kong, but that does not mean that we start becoming complacent. And at the same time, there is a lot of everybody at the moment have become experts in this area. Whether they're experts or real experts or not, we don't know. And in fact, we know that they're not. And everybody seems to be giving their opinions, their ideas. And that's why it seems like the virus at the moment has spread so much that because it's the experts who, it was not the real experts really managing the experts in the world. So today, Naveda Wellness actually has been educating the community since January of 2020 to understand about COVID-19 and how dangerous it can be. Because we knew that this is actually very, very dangerous, and we took the initiative to continually educate the community, the public, about precautions and prevention. Many people have been benefited. Many of them who didn't really care, they only found out, they got interested in March. It's okay, and that's human behavior. We all tend to do something serious when we start reacting rather than responding, right? So today, that is why we have invited Dr. Sanjay Nadaka, who is the expert in this area of viruses and bacteria. So he is a microbiologist, right? So he is a renowned microbiologist, got a PhD from the University of Hong Kong, and postdoctorate from Ottawa University, Canada, and he has published more than 100 scientific papers, research articles, reports, and conferences at class. He has invented technologies in preventive healthcare, environmental science, ecology, nutrition, functional foods. So he's also worked with projects with the United Nations, World Health Organizations, NASA, and very prestigious universities from around the world. So he is on a mission to educate the world's communities, industries, and governments regarding virus interaction in nature, human health and planet health, degenerative diseases and communicable diseases, indoor air quality, nutritional issues and therapy, sustainable development, global warming, green construction, ethics in our global connected civilization, and more. And in fact, he is very closely working with Naveda Wellness to address three major global crises, which is happening right now, which is health, social issues, and environmental issues. All right. So once again, I would like to welcome Dr. Sanjay to give us the facts from his expertise in this area. Just want to let you know that this is an educational seminar helping people to understand the virus and have better precautions and preventive measures. It is in no way medicinal or guiding you to do this and do that. It's giving you educational information, and that's the purpose of this webinar. All right. So I am going to hand this over now to Dr. Sanjay to start this webinar and tell us more about the prevention and precautions. How do we continually take care of ourselves in not only this pandemic, but there could be many more pandemics coming up. So we should all be prepared and take the right precautions and learn from the right experts, not from everybody claiming to themselves to become experts. So I hand this over to you, Dr. Sanjay.
Thanks, Veena. First of all, I just wanted to make sure, like when Veena was speaking, the sound was echoing at my side. So I just wanted to make sure, like, can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Okay, that's very good. So welcome to this webinar series. We are running this from 11th of January this year. This is my 28th seminar series in the last 3 months. And what we have done is actually we have realized, I especially realized very early, that this particular viral pandemic is going to be really big one. And we acted very early, and we had a very single mission, that if we educate community and empower the community can handle this virus very well. So there's a 50-50 part. So right now, we heard a lot about this virus. Every day there's a lot news about this virus. Now the question is, what you are hearing about this particular virus every day, how much is the truth behind it? How much real science behind it? So there are so many questions here. So I like to start with something, because by now, I think all of you may have heard enough about this particular virus, that what this virus is, from where it came, how it is spreading, what kind of hygiene you have to maintain, what you should do. So it's a kind of like a checklist, do's and don'ts. So is it correct? Yeah. Yeah. I think, Veena, you can open a mute button for some of them, so at least I can reply, so I can understand a little bit.
So maybe what people can do is thumbs up when they want to. Would you?
Yeah.
So if he's asking a question, just thumbs up or say yes or no. You know. Or
Yeah.
some of you can unmute yourself. And just give them a response.
So basically, what I'm going to do today is helping all of you to understand this whole episode of COVID-19 pandemic in a very realistic form, and that form is a science-based. So what is happening here? Every day there's a lot of media around the world, and there's a lot of media statement. And in the media statement, so many experts coming and giving a different kind of statements. Now, if you see these experts, who are they? Maybe the director of some hospitals, some administration of some big organization, the head of the organization, so forth, so on. So there's a lot of like important people coming on the media and talking about it. Am I correct? Right? A lot of the information coming from a very important people, those who are the head of certain organizations. But now I have to ask you a very simple question. If you have a kidney disease, related to the kidney disease, will you go see a neurosurgeon? Answer is no. If you have a heart disease, will you go to see a kidney specialist? The answer is no. So this is the biggest communication failure happen right now, that every doctor started advising people about this particular virus. And now because people have this perception that there is a doctor community, then this doctor community know everything about that virus, and they started taking that information. This point need to understand very clearly. Okay, doctors are not all the doctors are not expert on the virus or virus related diseases. So first we have to understand who are the people who understand this particular kind of like infection which is going on right now. So there are four kind of experts, you can say. One is the microbiologist. Who are the microbiologists? The microbiologist is a group of scientists who work on bacterial and viral studies, their infection, their benefits, everything about it. There's a two part of microbiology. One is clinical microbiology. So what is a clinical microbiology? Like in every medical hospital, there is a microbiologist and the microbiology department. So when the people fall sick, they go to hospital, then this microbiologist, along with respiratory disease expert, they handle them. Yeah, you understand that? The kidney expert is not coming and handling these viruses. Right now, all the people, those who are in a hospital, the pulmonary disease expert are taking care of these people. No neurosurgeon is taking care, no heart surgeon is taking care. Pulmonary experts are taking care of them. And then there is a people, those called epidemiologists. They basically do the pathways and how the virus came in and all those kind of stuff. And then the ICU unit, the healthcare frontline workers, the nurses, junior staff, these are the people, those who are directly exposed to the infected patient. And that is the ICU unit, intensive care unit, or the frontline worker. So first, we have to understand this particular line. Now, in Hong Kong, I would like to say a very good example, and I am proud to say that Hong Kong government has dealt it very nicely, because if you see, and even Hong Kong media, every day in Hong Kong media, if there is a report coming up, they are taking only one reference, which is the Department of Microbiology of the University of Hong Kong. They're not asking some neurosurgeon, or they are not asking any kind of like kidney specialist. They are not asking any director of the hospital that what is your opinion. That's what we have to understand over here. It's very, very important. Okay. And second is Department of Health, Communicable Disease. They are giving the press briefing every day. That's Hong Kong. But what is happening in other countries? In other countries, different expert, say the director of certain hospital incoming, and telling on television that, okay, I don't think you should wear the mask. I think you should do this. I think you should do that. So like that, what happened in all around the world, this media started inviting so many people, those who are irrelevant to this disease, and started giving a lot of opinions. So there are hundreds and thousands of opinions on this planet right now. And then everyone, those who fall within the medical fraternity, they called as an expert. So that's the first thing we have to remove from the mind. They're not the expert. So first thing I talk about the microbiology. The only microbiologist can talk about it. So the clinical microbiologist can talk only when the person is infected. Now there is one more very important aspect, that virus is not show any infection. Virus is still among the community. It is inside the human body. When people are sneezing, people are doing different kind of activities, this virus is coming out from the body and then is staying in different kind of surfaces. And then from there, it is going to the other person. So right now, we are not talking about disease. We are talking about the existence of this virus in an ecosystem among the community, among the human being. That's called microbial ecology. We are talking about the ecosystem, the behavior of that virus. So what today we have to learn as a community, that how this virus is behaving. We need to know the behavior of this virus. The behavior of this virus called microbial ecology, or very precisely say viral ecology. Is a very different subject from the medical subject. That's what you have to understand. So there's a distinction between the scientist and the frontline doctors. Now come to the solution. We are talking about a test kit. Who are going to design the test kit? The people who understand molecular genetics and immunology. There's no third person who is going to design the test kit or vaccine. So there's an in-between, there's a test kit, there's a medicine, and there's a vaccine. These three things need to be designed by molecular biologist, molecular geneticist, and immunologist. So now you see, it's very clear, there are microbiologists, there are molecular biologists, there's an immunologist, and in a hospital, there's a pulmonary disease expert. So these four group of experts are actually will find the solution in coming future along with the help of other people. Is this clear? Very good. Everyone clear about it? Yeah. So
Yes.
what is going wrong? This disease was not so bad. It went very bad because of the wrong communication. Okay. So first wrong communication, what happened? Many important people came on a television and say that wearing mask is not necessary. So a lot of people in the European world or in America and many countries refuse to wear the mask. Whereas you see in Hong Kong, from day one, most of the people were wearing the mask. So sometimes what happened, we don't talk about the rocket science. We talk about something very simple, very basic, right? So three things very basic was given here, that wash your hand, wear the mask, and stay at home or quarantine. People didn't understand the meaning of it. So what is the most important meaning people didn't understand? Because some important people were saying that don't wear the mask. So many people were not wearing the mask. I can tell you this, if from January or even from the beginning of the February, if the whole world wearing the mask, this disease would have contained less than 500,000 instead of 2 million or something like that. It's a very basic hygiene process. Sometimes something very basic we ignore. Okay. Washing hand, something very simple, but how many people are still washing hand? So this is the thing you need to observe around you. How many people are following simple guideline given to them? Why I'm saying this simple guideline is so important. I want to take you 100 years back. The Spanish flu. How many of you heard about Spanish flu? Yeah, Spanish flu. First World War. At the end of First World War, 1918, and it went for 1.5 years or close to 2 years. And it killed 30 to 50 million people. Okay, it killed 30 to 50 million people. But what was the most common scenario during that time and today? That's what you have to understand in a most simplest format. What was the most common thing 100 years back and today? The common thing was, even 100 years back, they said, wash your hand, wear the mask, isolate yourself. And even today, after 100 years, these are the 3 techniques. Wear the mask, wash your hand, isolate yourself. We're not going into technology right now. We're not going to technology like how many testing kit we have developed, which drug is working, which kind of, when the vaccine will come. Forget about all those kind of things. Go something to basics. In the past, we handled pandemics. And one of the very important part was breaking the cycle of the virus. How to break the cycle of the virus? When the virus is inside of one human being, the other human being behave in such a way, you don't allow that virus to jump from one person to another person. And when virus don't get a new human being to infect, over the time period, the virus collapse by itself. And that is why you see why there is a forced lockdown everywhere. The lockdown is just because we want to stop to find a new host for the virus. So I'm trying to give you initially some things very simple. If you understand, keep raising your thumbs, at least I understand, right? It's like that. So, certain information, I presume today, after 3 months, all of you know the basic things about this virus. And as we said, we started this seminar public awareness campaign from 11th of January this year. And whatever the way we have presented, it's keep happening exactly in the same way. So here I explain to you, as a microbiologist, what happened in the microbiology. I will talk to you as a scientific perspective, as a scientist. Right now, there's a lot of information coming up in the media. And there's a lot of information about, okay, related to vaccine, related to the medicine, related to like all sort of information. And they quote the research paper like Harvard University or such and such university research paper said like that. Science doesn't work like that. In science, we call it isolated individual information. If something is going around the world, hundreds of universities around the world need to conduct the research for at least 1 to 2 years to identify the pattern. When the pattern is diagnosed, then only we can say something confirmative. Unless there is any pattern, we cannot do the judgment based on one single publication or 2 publication or 5 publication. So please try to understand, this is another very big kind of a miscommunication going on, that most of the media, most of the information is quoting the reference of some research publication. But what you need to understand, one single publication cannot explain why this virus is spreading, what is the infection mode, and all those kind of things. It's not that simple. So first of all, I want to establish this: whatever the research publication is coming up, it's just a beginning. Okay, so we can call it like the information is coming up. This information is not a solution, it's an information. We need to get a more and more and more and more information, which need to identify as a pattern. So once there is a pattern, then we can say, okay, something is working. For example, the research publication from Hong Kong University, from Japan, from Italy, from America, from Canada, from China, everyone is saying, okay, this virus mutated in this particular way, and they gave it the procedure. So what is happening? More than 100 research articles around the world is confirming the same result. When this kind of information happens, then only our scientific community can say like, okay, now we know the pattern. But if someone isolated work in Harvard University because it's a big name, and that's what going on wrong. Someone say Oxford University, Harvard University, and this research is saying something like that. That's wrong. You cannot derive what happened inside Korea by sitting in the lab in US. Why? That's what it is people have to understand. That's what called viral ecology. We need to understand the virus infection behavior. So today I'm not repeating a basic stuff. I'm trying to give you a more insight to it, that if the virus infecting people in Korea, maybe the infection mode is different the way virus infected in China. It may be different the way virus infected in Italy. The mode may be different from infected from France or Germany. It's not a one single virus strain or one single procedure. This virus is interacting in the atmosphere. It means we are catching the virus from the atmosphere or from the direct contact. Atmosphere means indirect contact. And then we are developing the symptom. Right now, people say, okay, there are more than 2 million people around the world. So how many people actually carrying the virus? And then how many of them infected? How many of them? Right? It's a kind of algorithm. So no one can say right now, when we study that, okay, what is the infection rate? What is the doubling rate? The mortality rate or fatality rate, say inside Italy. When the whole information come out from the Italy, then this information will come out from Spain. The information come from Britain. Like that, every country, when the information will come out, then only we can process that big data to find out what exactly happened. So this is the thing people need to understand. Like there's no quick fix solution about it. This is the long journey, because the research process is very, very long research process. What we are hearing right now around the world, a fundamental process of viral pandemic. Because the viral pandemic happened or epidemic happened before, So let's take two examples. One is SARS 2003 in Hong Kong. How many people got infected? Only 8,000 people. Now, that's what we need to understand. We make a SARS is a big issue, right? But do you know, like in all around the world, only 8,000 people got infected as compared to 2 million of this COVID-19. So if we compare on an infection point of view, there's no comparison, right? Where is 8,000 only and where is 2 million plus, and it's still going on. There's another pandemic, we talk about MERS, right? This Middle Eastern, respiratory virus. They did only 2,500, 3,000. So again, few million versus few thousand, right? This is the thing I really want all of you to understand. In the past, recent past, all the epidemics happened, the infection was not so great. This is the first infection, maybe you can say after 100 years or after 50, 60 years, the infection rate is so high. We all agree on this, right?
Yeah.
It's so big, it's humongous. So let's not talk about like how many people are dying. Let's talk about what is inside this virus, which is spreading so fast among so many people. Okay, many deaths may be the overwhelming of the healthcare system. You think about it, it's not like that. Every government or every city has a limitation of medical facility. We all know that every year many people get flu. So suppose like 1,000 people or 5,000 people are getting flu, we have a facility to treat them and pay attention to everyone. But then the similar flu happened to 500,000 people at the same time. Most of the people will die with that simple flu because they will not get the treatment properly because of the lack of resources. So the number of deaths happening is not that the treatment is going wrong or something, it's the facility is so overwhelmed that timing is taking long. So those who are the weak immunity people or weak resistance are not able to fight with disease back. But imagine that if this disease are happening to 500 people or 1,000 people, then we have enough medical staff to pay attention to each patient nicely. And then maybe every patient is getting recovered. So this is another hidden point people are not paying attention, that the death is not related to the disease. That is related to the vast number of infection, which overwhelm the medical facility. And it is something very simple. In a very layman language, I am explaining. It's not a rocket science. We breathe oxygen. Our lungs take oxygen. From lungs, the oxygen go to our blood, and through our blood, it reaches to the different part of the body. So in COVID-19 or any respiratory disease, our lungs get infected. We cannot breathe. So then oxygen is not reaching to the body. And when oxygen is not reaching to the lungs and through blood to the other part of the body, without oxygen, the organ fails. Is it as simple as this? Right? So there are so many different kind of complications happening. There's a multiple organ failure are happening. There's a kidney failure is happening. There's a cardiac arrest is happening. So all deaths are not directly related to the COVID-19 infection. It can be the side effect of the COVID-19 to not get a proper treatment in a right time because of the large number. There's nothing wrong with this. The people, those who have a weak immune system, because every year you see like a lot of old people, they passed away, they die because very simple pneumonia. So the process of death in pneumonia and process of death by COVID is the same thing. What COVID is doing is basically affecting the lung system. Correct? Right? So something simple we have to understand. And that's why people are saying the people, those who are weak with the low immunity, the people, those who are senior in age need to take more precaution into it. Why people are paying more attention to the senior citizen? Because something is very simple, we call it aging. When the people age, their immune system slow down, our organs slow down, everything has a slow process. So if we have a delay in reaching oxygen into different part of the body, obviously it won't work very well. This simple science understood? Yeah. So what we need to establish here, the focus has to be on the number, not about the deaths. Fatality has nothing to do with that. Number. If we can control the number, it means we are easing the burden on the pressure from the healthcare system. So the healthcare workers can pay more attention to the patient precisely. But we have a large number, there's no way, no magic can happen. And unfortunately, that's the situation in Italy, Spain, Britain, America, everywhere. It's overwhelmed, the numbers. Now, why? So main question is the infection here. So this virus, I would say, is the most dangerous one in terms of its infection rate as compared to all the previous known coronaviruses or other viruses. So that's the thing, we have to accept it, that so far what we heard about SARS, MERS, influenza, Ebola, whatever like that, this virus is spreading much faster than anyone else. So here is the scientific hypothesis. From the ecology point of view, the question all of you should be asking, why this virus is spreading so fast and among the so many people? And you have to ask the comparative question. Why SARS didn't spread so much? Why MERS didn't spread so much? Why influenza do not spread so much? We are not talking about the treatment right now. We are talking about spreading. If right now influenza is spread among 5 million people, obviously there will be more people die than the normal situation. It's not that influenza is killing them, it's the medical facility get overwhelmed. That is why we are talking about flattening the curve. You heard about this name, very famous term now, flattening the curve. So flattening the curve means not getting rid of the disease. We are not getting rid of the disease so soon, it's just not possible. Flattening the curve means at any given time period, we reduce the number of the new patient so we can reduce the burden of the healthcare system. So the healthcare system can pay more attention to the each infected people, right? So now we are coming to the point. Ask the question, why it is spreading so much? This is the question everyone should be asking. Because in the past, all the diseases, the viral diseases never spread or I would like rephrase this term, this is the first disease in a time of social media, which is spreading so fast. So why is spreading? So what happened? The existing theory somewhere went wrong. As existing theory of the virology is that the virus need a host, so it transfers from one host to the another host. So when the one human being is infected, from this human being, the other human being will get infected. This virus, or most of the virus, cannot live out of the body for a very long time period. They live for a very short time period. That's the real information about all the viruses. This is the point you need to understand. And this is like the secret here, which many few people are paying attention. This virus is the first virus which is surviving very long time out of the body as compared to all other viruses. So even though you are not directly exposed to the infected person, you are still getting the infection. How? Imagine a scenario, one person carrying the virus. He went to the supermarket, he went to the bar, he went to the restaurant, wherever he went, he infected all the places. The virus is everywhere. And imagine that the bar was not cleaned very well or sanitized very well. Restaurant was not sanitized very well. That virus is still alive. 3 days later, you reach there and you sit on the same table where 3 days before an infected person was sitting. There's a possibility you are carrying that virus, picking up that virus from that table or the glass. There's no other way. So this is the information, will take some time to come out, but there's a lot of information is started generating. We started generating how long this virus is surviving out of the body on different surfaces. How long this virus is surviving with the droplets, the sneeze, indoor air quality. On a street, we are missing this point. So this is the big point which was missed out. And as a microbiologist, that's what who understand microbial ecology. That's our main focus and the research area to do the aftermath, that this virus is really surviving very long. And the moment a weak person is there, what is the meaning of weak person? The virus, when it is out of the body, is not very active to infect other person. It can go in your body, but it can lose its infection ability. But when you get a weak person whose immunity is weak, that virus sits very nicely inside that person. So now what we understand among the scientific community, the span of the virus infection is going 3 to 4 days. It never happened before in science. You have to, in science is like, you have to come into contact with the infected person within 3 hours. So influenza virus or other virus, like if you come in contact with the person face to face within few hours, then only there's a chance of infection. And that's where communication went wrong in this particular time. People say, oh, you don't need to wear the mask because you're not infected like that. There's a lot of wrong information going on. And that's did the bad job. So the virus got a lot of leakages. Virus got a very nice way to move into the atmosphere, on the surfaces, in the air droplets, your kitchen, your bathroom, no one knows. That's what we have to understand. We are dealing with something unknown right now. So when we deal with something unknown, what is our responsibility? If we know this is the virus checklist. So take example is in this way. When the pilot fly the aircraft, Before they fly the aircraft, they have a checklist and they have to do everything. Okay, okay, okay. When everything is okay, then they are ready to take off, right? But imagine that they have the 20 items in the checklist and they do only 5 of them and things like, okay, forget about that, we'll see. They're putting themselves in a high risk. That exactly happened with this COVID-19. And how I can explain this, you go back to the report from January and start looking the report every week. You will find there's a lot of information came up as a policy of wait and watch. That was a big blunder. From day one, when people know that it's a virus, those who are spreading very fast, China already have so many cases, they should have implemented the full precautionary measurement, all, wearing the mask, social distancing, quarantine, checking at the airport. That's what didn't happen. So we could have contained this virus maybe like 100,000, 200,000. If we would have implemented a full list of preventing this virus, means don't allow a new host. Because different country didn't do that, the virus got happy. It got a lot of leakages and then it traveled around the world. So what happened in first month, it traveled all around the world and sit there. And that's why the epidemic became pandemic, because this virus got enough opportunity to travel across the world. And then they created, it's called hotspot. You are hearing this word again, like a lot of like this common word called hotspot. Now, every country in the world has a COVID-19 hotspot. It means it's their favorable place among certain community. You will see that it's not spreading among everyone. It is choosing certain type of people and only moving among certain kind of people. It's a cluster moving. After cluster moving, then only the community spread. Take the example of Korea. What happened in Korea? The whole Korea is not infected. A certain place in certain religious area where people were going, the people only that places. If you talk about in Hong Kong, certain religious place and also certain bar, certain group, not everyone. So that's what you have to understand. This virus find out a weak host. So all we are a human species. But among us, some of us, we are strong and some of us are weak. This is very important. Who are weak? So let's talk about the weak people. Number one, aging. Okay, so as we age, our immune system slow down. So aging is one big kind of thing. So let's say like a low immune system. I will come a little bit about the immune system. The second, all the people have a kidney transplant or kidney problem. Remember that, and the autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease means it's like hyperactivity of the immune system. And kidney also, when the kidney transplant is there, body do not reject its own kidney. So they have to live on the immunosuppressant drug. So there's a larger community of the people, a big large community of the people, they have to live on the immunosuppressant drug. Means if their immunity go high, it is bad for themselves. So that's the second part. The people with the high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat. Why? Because like if the lung doesn't get enough oxygen, it immediately put the pressure on heart. And when the heart doesn't work properly, then everything goes wrong. Another very interesting thing, hemoglobin. I never heard anyone talking about hemoglobin. The hemoglobin is the particle inside the blood which bind with oxygen and carry this oxygen to different part of the body. So if your hemoglobin is not good, the blood clot quality is not good, then there's a double impact on you. Because one, the lung is not working very well, and then even the lung working whatever limited way, your blood is not supporting very well to carry oxygen through hemoglobin. Now in hemoglobin, what you need iron. So iron is one of the savior today, right? So this is the part I'm coming later. So these are the people. Then the people with the fatty liver, lot of like existing health condition, people with diabetes. So there's a huge list of the people, those who have a pre-medical condition. They are at the high risk. It doesn't mean that the healthy person cannot fall sick. Why? Coming to a little bit about immune system now. We have a 3 type of immune system. So immune system is a very generic term, but try to understand in the basic way. The way we have a heart, we have a brain, we have a liver, we don't have an immune organ. It's a system sitting inside. It's an intelligent system inside the body. When our body recognizes that some foreign particle coming inside our body, it can be bacteria, it can be virus, it can be any other chemical kind of things, then only this immune system trigger on. And then fight with, we call it this foreign particles, which do not belong to your body. So suppose your body is getting this infection through virus, your immune system will recognize and will create antibodies to fight with that virus. So that time, it called the immune response of the body. So the immune response of the body vary from person to person. Some people, so it's not about good immunity or bad immunity. Try to understand this. This is a very fine line. Here I'm talking about immune response. How fast your immunity can respond. If some people have a delay immune response, in that case, virus penetrate in the first stage and settle in your body. Your immunity is not working very well. But once it settles down and it starts damaging, then only immune is recognizing, so it has a late response. In other case, as soon as virus enter in your body, immune system recognize and they immediately attack the virus cell and try to kill them. Okay. So we have a 3 type of immune system. One we call the barrier system, barrier immunity. The barrier immunity is our skin system. So our whole body is protected by the skin, and skin has a lot of antimicrobial activities. When we say antimicrobial, means bacteria, virus, and any other kind of things. It has a lot of mechanism to protect ourselves from biologically and physically. That's the skin. The second one is the innate immune system. Innate immune system means we born with this immune system. So there is a lot of different kind of cells. And one of the most common one is called NK cell. Remember this one, it's called the NK cell. Our body has a NK cell. It means like natural killer cell. Okay. But then we have a lot of like lymphocytes and other kind of things. So in a common language, I use a common language, it's called the white blood cells. So there's a red blood cells, there's a white blood cells. There's a lot of lymphocytes. So like, for example, this particular part in our salivary gland, we touch is the lymph nodes, right? This is our immune system. We touch here like tonsils, or like it's an immune system. We touch over here a lot of glands, right? It's an immune system. There's a lymph system kind of thing. So what lymph system does, either it eat the viral cell or bacterial cell, or it dissolve it. So that's what we have to understand. It's a very complex model, so I don't want to go into detail, but I want to stay on a surface and want to explain you a simple kind of mechanism. We all have all these three, this immune system, but different people's immune system works in a different way. So in some people, when the virus attack, the immune system eat them. It's called phagocyte, means they eat the virus cell or they destroy the virus cell. So that's the role of certain immune cells. But the most interesting part is NK cell. It's called natural killer. When some of the cell of the body get infected, that natural killer cell kill the infected cell of our body. They don't kill the virus. So that's how the different mechanism is there. There's a front line defense mechanism. There's a second line defense mechanism. There's a third line defense mechanism. So when the first line defense system doesn't work, so we have a defense system, first line. Virus attacking, cells destroying them, done. If the virus attacking, self cannot destroy, virus infect the cell, cell become infected, then NK cell come in a place and they try to kill or destroy the infected cell of the body. Okay. And the third one, so this is the system. The third system called acquired immunity. You might have heard about T cells a lot. Okay, there's a B cells and there are T cells. We are not born with it. We develop it over the time period. And a very common disease, HIV, AIDS, we all heard about it. In HIV, AIDS, it completely destroys B and T cells. And one of the most important role of B of T cells is, if the body gets infected, they attack the infected cell and they try to remove them very efficiently. So now imagine that if we don't have a system inside our body which can attack the infected cell inside our body, you have to think about two scenarios. One is virus is outside your body and they're attacking you and try to come inside your body. So then your first layer of defense, some lymphocytes attacking the virus and kill them. But if they are not able to kill them, the virus is infecting your cells. So your cells getting infected. Then the second layer of the cells come in, immune system comes in, another cell called NK cell, natural killer. They kill the infected cells. Okay, so this is the different kind of mechanism. But the third one, so barrier immunity, the skin, innate immunity, which is born with, and the third is acquired immunity, which develop over the time period. Now, what are the things which develop this kind of immune system very well? So I will put the first thing in the list is exercise. Why exercise? If you keep moving your body, your lymph node and the blood keep flowing all around the body. What the most simple thing everyone need to understand, so far, the good amount of oxygen is reaching to all your organ. Your organ are functioning very well. So if you are not exercising, the cells, those who are like immune system is over here, they're just like somewhere here that not moving and functioning on the body. So exercise is very important. And you might have heard about that any disease, even the cancer patient, they're asked to do a lot of exercise. And remember that you don't need to do heavy exercise. Walking, stretching, all those kind of things, first thing to build the immunity beside any other thing. So exercise is number one to build the immunity. Number two, today I would like to talk about certain kind of food items which support the immune system. How many of you heard antioxidants here? Can you raise the hand? And I like to see antioxidant. Any, Veena, you can open the speaker and see like if anyone can take the best antioxidant name.
Any of you can unmute yourselves and then maybe.
Any name of the best antioxidant you heard?
Turmeric.
Anything else?
Cinnamon.
Uh,
Cinnamon.
anything else? Okay, so let's put in this way. So there are 3-4 terms. You have to understand it very clearly. There are 3-4 different terms you have to understand very clearly. One is antioxidant. One is anti-inflammatory. One called adaptogens. Okay. These are the 3 very important terms if you understand and if you remember. One is adaptogens. Adaptogens is a type of food items which help your brain, called adaptogens. Anti-inflammatory means any kind of inflammation in the body. And when we say turmeric, turmeric is the best anti-inflammatory, not like in other way. Like if we categorize is the best anti-inflammatory. The third one is antioxidant. So yes, I will consider cinnamon is one of the best antioxidant, but there are certain names called beta carotene. Beta carotene we get in a carrot. So any person who eat carrot a lot get a good amount of beta carotene. And beta carotene is very important antioxidant for the lung diseases, for the healthy lung. So this is the missing gap right now. I never heard in last 3 months in any of the media, anyone talking about suggesting eating a lot of carrots. Because it's a well-known in science that carrot has a lot of beta carotene and beta carotene is very good for lung. So right now, we need to go a little bit one step further than immunity, and we have to focus on lung because this is a respiratory disease. If we can keep our lung healthy, it means we can have a best immunity for the lung, best lung function, no inflammation on lung, lungs are completely detox, lungs are doing very good oxygen absorption and dispensing oxygen into the blood. That's where your preparation starts. Doesn't matter which age person group you are. So right now, that's what's happening. The people are not paying attention towards the lung health. So market, like a lot of things was diverted in terms of like a different kind of knowledge. But the idea here is what government has suggested: wear the mask, wash the hand, social distancing, quarantine, isolate, whatever they are asking, sanitize, do everything. But with that, the most important thing, if you really want to reduce your risk, look after your lung health. When I say lung health will include anti-inflammatory lung, highly loaded with antioxidant, high immunity of the lung, respiration capacity of the lung, oxygen transformation of the lung, and a very good quality hemoglobin, means a high iron content in the body. If these things are in your body, then your lung is functioning very well. Then you are doing exercise and you are doing breathing exercise. So these are something very simple to keep the things fit. Everyone understand?
Yeah.
Good. Now in this, I will discuss a little bit about the Indian herbs. So like the Chinese traditional herbs, we call TCM. TCM has modernized a lot. What is the definition of modernization of TCM? In the old time, we use the language, okay, ginseng is good for the health. Why it is good for the health, we don't know. We only know like, okay, you eat ginseng and you have so many benefits. This is called observation science. So all the old science was based on observation. Okay, so this is everyone has to understand. We didn't know in the past why ginseng is working. But we observed that when you consume ginseng, millions and millions of people have so many benefits. But when the modernization of traditional Chinese medicine happened, what does that mean? We started using the biotechnology. What is the meaning of using biotechnology? We are using the biological technology to remove the molecule from the ginseng to find out which molecule inside the ginseng is beneficial for which purpose. Okay, so we are going deeper. So same thing in India, there's a very good advanced studies on we call the Indian medicinal plants. A very, very important information available about it. Now, what is the second stage of information is going on? We infuse that initial information with the current biotechnology. So then, for example, if you heard about the Indian things called ashwagandha, or like let's say turmeric. Turmeric is the best example. So eating turmeric is not beneficial unless it has a curcumin kind of molecule inside it with a certain percentage, then only it is beneficial. So that's what we say, you eat for the taste or you eat for the therapeutic benefit. So always you have to remember, the food is for the two purposes. One is for the taste. But if the taste, the dose is low, and if it is not above the therapeutic benefit, it's not going to help you at all. So turmeric, curcumin is there, which has to be over 5%. Now, if you take the turmeric with curcumin, maybe 100 gram turmeric will cost you over 3,000 Hong Kong dollar. But when you go and buy a turmeric, maybe a $50 you can buy 100 grams of turmeric. That's the difference you have to understand. So the raw food do not have an active molecule which is therapeutic in property. So that's where the biotechnology is coming in the place. What biotechnology is doing is taking turmeric as a raw material, refining it, making a concentrated curcumin based turmeric, and then coming in the form of small doses, like in a capsule and tablet form. Right? Someone's sound going on. Okay. You understand this, the difference between the normal food for the taste and the therapeutic benefit, right? So unless you get the right a food which has a therapeutic benefit, name only doesn't help. So just for your information, I'm telling you, we use a typical scientific name we call functional food. So you have a kitchen food and you have a functional food. So if you are eating the kitchen turmeric, it's not going to help you very much. So if you think like you eat a turmeric curry or turmeric this and that, it's not that helpful. That's what the science-based approach is. If you really want to get a benefit of the turmeric, so then you have to take that turmeric powder, dissolve with the milk or turmeric capsules or tablet, where the curcumin concentration is so high and it's made for therapeutic usage. Same with cinnamon. If you put the cinnamon for the taste in the food, the cinnamon will not work so well. But if you use the cinnamon powder to put in the coffee or in the tea, that cinnamon will have a much more impact because you are taking in a different way with a high quality kind of things. Same with garlic. Okay. So there are so many food. So turmeric, I would say one. Another one is the holy basil. No one ever talk about the holy basil. I never heard in last 3 months anyone is talking about holy basil. Holy basil is so important and known in India for thousands of years for the benefit of the respiratory health. There's a place in the North India, the city name called Ajamgarh. Ajamgarh has the maximum farming of the holy basil. And it is a scientifically recorded that till today, there's not a single case of respiratory disease from that particular village. It's a global scientific record. It's a very interesting scientific record. The air is so purified in that particular village that no one ever got infected or get sick with any kind of lung related disease. So holy basil. Okay. Holy basil is very important right now. Cinnamon is very important right now. Garlic is very important right now. Turmeric is very important, but in a form of curcumin. Now, the way we talk about ginseng, there's an Indian part called ashwagandha. The ashwagandha is another very important medicinal plant. It is available in form of powder and also in form of capsule. So in Indian way, there's a practice, what we call the Indian practice. There's a powder form. Before going to bed, you can take 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, dissolve in a milk and drink that milk. But many people have like intolerance to milk, so they can prepare a different kind of recipe. What I mean to say, you have an option to eat this kind of things in a different way. So this is related to certain medicinal food, which is to the point. So if I would like to focus something, I would focus on beta carotene, which you get in carrot. Today, you must be eating carrot every day. I'm really surprised why the world is not talking about it. It's a well-established scientific fact. So sometimes what happens when we get overwhelmed with something, we forgot to talk about some real stuff, day-to-day stuff. To carrot. Turmeric, definitely yes. And the holy basil, definitely yes. So holy basil mostly like you can have in a form of tea. Now there's another very interesting part. Most of the Indians know about it, and again, no one is talking about it. It's called neem. You have a neem toothpaste. You have so many new neem soap. It's one of the best antiseptic. So today, if you are taking like, it does the work of the sanitizer. So if you are taking bath with shower with neem soap, using the neem soap, it's equivalent to like Savlon or Dettol because of its antiseptic properties. So these are the things. The people didn't talk many things. So I think like today, I summarize in a different direction that why this disease is spreading, what are the immune system, type of immune system, and certain kind of food. I didn't repeat the whole description of coronavirus because this is my 28th number of seminar today. And we have empowered over 50,000 people in Hong Kong and around the world to help the community. Because once you understand this virus and things, you can go and talk to your people in a small community and can help them to understand, because it's very obvious when the government or the agency and healthcare system is overwhelmed, sometimes we forgot to speak the most common thing. Say right now, no one is talking about neem, carrot, all those kind of stuff. It should be talking about it. So that's where your roles comes in a place. What is your roles comes in place? That asking people question. You have to ask the people question like, what is in this virus which is spreading so much? Why other virus we talk so big? We talk about SARS, if you remember the news of the SARS. I'm giving you the data, the total infection all around the world was only 8,000 number. We're not talking about how many people died. Only the infection, and it stopped at 8,000. And it never occurred after that. So where is a 2 million versus 8,000? Can we compare? No. So if you ask this question, why this is spreading so much, that's where your journey will start. That's where you're learning. You started asking the good question. And when you start asking good question, you will start getting a good answer to it. Yeah. So I think this is good enough for today. And I hope this is really nice.
So thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Are there any questions anyone would like to ask? Yes.
Manohar is want to say something. Yes, Manohar.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
And even the video has gone.
No, the video is there, but you need to unmute yourself. I have unmuted you, but we can't hear.
I'm Chitra from Asian Sorry. Good evening.
Sorry, who's that?
Asian Organic.
Okay, we can hear Manohar. Like Manohar, can you speak again, please? No, can't hear you.
Can't hear.
Can't hear.
Can't hear. Maybe we take another question and then we come back to you, Manohar.
Anyone else has a question?
I'd like to know how good is spirulina, because I've never taken it, and every time I do, you do send, you know, the little poster of spirulina. So I like to know a little bit about that, if that is helpful for this situation.
Okay, so right now as we talk about immunity, some other time, because I do a lot of seminar, one of the things I will do, nutritional requirement of the body and how body operate. So Spalna is actually one of my research projects where we have worked the health benefit and nutritional benefit of spirulina. So right now in the world, if we are talking about 4 to 5 herbal products.
I unmute by myself.
Can you hear? Yeah, so 4 to 5 herbal products. Spirulina is one of them. It contains more than 200 nutrients.
From India. Okay.
Pardon? Hello.
Hello.
I'm Chitra
Yeah.
from India. Hello?
Yeah, yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Can you hear?
Chitra, we heard you, but cannot hear now. Yeah, we passed to Manohar. Okay, Chitra, we can see you. Yeah, please, if you want to say something quickly.
No. Okay, Manoharji,
Yeah.
can you speak right now?
He's gone.
No, he's there, but okay. No, we can't hear him. Can't hear him. Okay, Mr. Manoharji, we can't hear you. Maybe you can send us a question or write it down so that we can answer
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we can get back to you.
You can always question us. We can't hear you, Mr. Manoharji.
Hello,
Yes.
Yeah, now,
can you hear me?
yes, very clear, loud and clear.
Yeah, firstly, if I describe your presentation in one word, I would say excellent.
Thank you.
You talked about the turmeric, garlic, ginger, holy basil, neem, and other things. But how about the other matters for a food? First thing is, how about they say sunlight is good to improve immune system, sunlight. Then another says sleeping is good. We have a proper sleep. And a diet, they
Hello?
say, yes, you should have more fruit and the eggs and the proteins which have also the nuts, which could be pistachio, which could be almond, and zinc. Zinc is there. And I do not know about the lazy exercise. Lazy exercise means if you go for massage, does it have any benefit of circulation in the blood? Blood circulation can be improved by massage?
Okay, so interesting question. Thanks, Manohar. Yes, massage can improve the circulation, and the whole idea of exercise is to improve the circulation. Okay, so when we are talking about exercise, we are talking about increase the blood circulation in the body. So far, by any means, you can increase the blood circulation in your body. Yes, will do the good job. Sitting on a sun, yes, everyone knows like it required vitamin D, but vitamin D is one of the requirement. But right now I'm focusing on, if you say like, okay, what is the first line of defense? So today I focus exactly first line of defense, which is the respiratory health. There are like overall health. If we talk about the overall health, suppose COVID is not there, then I will say, yes, sleeping is important right now. Sitting in the sunlight is important. Doing many things, complete diet is important. But this talk is mostly focused right now dealing with COVID-19. So even like the COVID, like this virus infect your body, how you can protect your lungs or respiratory system kind of thing. So it's a very focused kind of thing. But yes, your answer is, if we are talking about the healthy living, then we should do another seminar. Then I will talk about like the overall nutrition and other thing, how to eat like. So that's a pretty big list of the things we should be doing on a daily basis, which include everything. Yes, and sleeping, as you say, absolutely important, because we need to give the rest of the body. It's very much to relate to the immune system. Sunlight relate to the immune system. Everything what you said is related to the immune system. But right now we went one step deeper. I'm talking the lung immune system. So I focus on the carrot, I focus on holy basil.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. We'll organize something in detail, like on the nutritional thing. Yes, please. Anyone else?
We can have more of carrot juice.
Yes.
Sir? Muringa olifera?
See, that is like.
Sir?
Yes, please.
Muringa olifera is a very good antioxidant and anti-inflammatory also, no, sir? So,
see, one thing I want to tell you, like all my audience over
so
here, I'm a very serious scientist. And if you understand the meaning of scientist, we have dedicated our life inside the lab. And our job is to invent, innovate, and to understand science and put in front of the people. So we have to understand the difference between the real science and the commercial science. There's a difference between the real science and the commercial science. The commercial science means introducing more and more product all the time and create a big marketing campaign and make people believe it is good. And then you run 3-4 years, earn a lot of money, and then after 5-6 years, that product is gone out of the market. I want to give a very good example for Hong Kong. Few years back, a juice from New Zealand became very popular in Hong Kong called noni juice. And it was sold like anything, like I'm talking about 10 years back. It was so much sold in Hong Kong, but after 2 years, it completely disappeared. No one even talk about it. So in science, we work in a different way. I give you something very simple about science. These days, all of you can go into the Google and check if any university around the world is working on the project. It means that particular product has a scientific value, because the government never give the funding to any project which do not have the social contribution or helping to the community. That's the rule of the funding. So moringa is a kind of a new hype, but we already have a spirulina, we already have a chlorella, we already have a omega 369. So we have a lot of stuffs out there. Okay. So if you take spirulina as compared to moringa, spirulina will help you much better, because spirulina has a 30-40 years of the research background. Whereas the moringa is just now very latest and like is commercially, and when you look the research article, you don't find that research article too much. You mostly find an advertisement and the Google, those kind of stuff. So hope you understand this two difference. Very important to understand.
Okay, I have a
So,
question.
sir, the carrot is okay as a juice?
In any form, it is okay, but not too much.
Hello.
Because if not too much, because you can see if you have a too much carrot, you can see your nails can become orange. So you have to monitor your nails. It should not become orange. If the nails become orange, it means you are having too much carrot in your body.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question. So we all know that turmeric, neem, holy basil, cinnamon, garlic, all this is great. However, like you said, it's very important to make sure that it's of therapeutic quality. We can get turmeric from the provision store, 100 grams for $20, whilst you can pick up something which is very therapeutic for $150. So what are the things that people need to look out for to make sure that they're having good quality food safety, which meets international food safety requirements, and it's non-toxic as well?
See what happened like here in Hong Kong. I would like to mention something very interesting. The food safety protocol is very new in Hong Kong. It's only 13 years old. The first food safety department was established in Hong Kong on 17th January 2007. So we are in 2020, it's not very old. So if I put like till 2006, Hong Kong didn't have any law of food safety. And something went wrong during the 2005, 2006, and that's why Hong Kong had to implement this or introduce this new department. Why food safety is very important, I can summarize in one line. 20 years back, we heard like, okay, there is something called cancer. And then some of your friends, someone had cancer. 10 years back, you know, like, okay, someone you know, their friend have a cancer. Today, you directly know someone who have a cancer, right? That's the progression of the cancer. So if you see the progression of the cancer, and there's no solution so far. So cancer is the master example of the food safety. Because most of the bad chemicals and fertilizer, pesticides, insecticides, and whatnot is coming inside our body. It's a very good question. Actually, it opened up to explain in this way. We have two major enemies. One enemy is a chemical enemy. The second enemy is the biological enemy. So what happened last 20, 30 years, we completely focus on chemical enemy. So we say, oh, the food with the pesticides, chemicals, GMO is not a good food. But we forgot one thing, the biological enemies are much bigger than the chemical enemies. Then here you go. This is only we are talking about the viral infection. But there's another thing which I usually take a regular public awareness seminar is on biotoxins. Biotoxins is the chemicals or toxic substances released by the bacteria, viruses, and different kind of microbes, which is more deadly than the chemicals. So cancer today, now we know, is a combination of the biological chemicals and the chemicals. So unless we buy the product with the full food safety precaution, it means like it is free from the biological chemicals and free from the chemicals, then only we can say it is safe to eat. So one of my seminar series is that it is actually my signature seminar series. It's called, Are You Eating Safe? It's a question format. So when you say, yes, your food is safe, so my second question comes to you, how safe is your safe food? And that's where the journey starts to learning about the food safety. So related to that thing, same here, related to the COVID, you say, I'm asking you the question, is your home safe? You say, my home is safe. So my second question will come to you, how safe is your safe home? And when you start asking this kind of questions, then you start learning. I hope this explains. Okay, so here is the Venus question, one thing. Please, please, please don't buy anything from the market which do not have ISO 22000 mark on it. This is the International Food Safety Guideline, mandatory by the Codex Committee. Codex Committee is just like a United Nations of food safety around the world, which control the food safety around the world, and it made mandatory to put ISO 22000. It means if you are buying a food which has an ISO 22000 mark, it is endorsed by the third party and checked for the safety of the food. But if the food do not have ISO 22000 mark, it means we don't know what is the source of the food. Doesn't matter how big the brand is.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the garlic, you just have it raw or cooked?
As we all know, as we cook, there's a lot of this cooking procedure. There's a high heat cooking, the low heat cooking, the blue flame cooking, the yellow flame cooking. A lot of technology involved. So like so far we are not killing the nutrient. So we call it the blue flame cooking. There's another very big topic like that. So there's a cooking technology like you have to cook on a blue flame. which do not kill the nutrient. So if you cook in a blue flame, you can eat the garlic cooked one, or you can have like a certain way to take a raw garlic by different kind of like a vinegar or so many things like that. Yeah. A
Or
chef
just with
can tell you.
water? Just garlic with water, you swallow it and with,
I do.
Okay, so I guess it's 10:35. I will bring a conclusion to this webinar. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjay, for giving us all this information, and I hope we are a lot more aware than what we were before. Let's continue. Hong Kong is at 0. Today there's no new case. Good news for us. But there are so many other countries which are still very high. Let's keep educating our family, friends, whoever we know around the world from all the knowledge that we have just gotten. Continue sharing, continue being careful, take preventive measures. And like I said, like Dr. Sanjay said, that in terms of antioxidants, what's good for your immunity, making sure it's ISO 22000. Just to let you know, it's all available at Naveda. That is one of Naveda's most important things that we deal with. Every product over here that is brought to Naveda is meeting food safety standards. It is audited by professionals. So, you know, like we said, you can get something for $20 or you can get something for $100. Something you get for $150 because you know that you're having something which is safe, 100% safe, all right? So thank you so much. If you need any more information on these things, you can always contact me. That's Veena Bhantigani from Naveda Wellness. Our slogan is Live Life Naveda Way, 100% safe, 100% natural. We address 3 key issues, which are global issues, global health issues, global environmental issues, and global social issues. Anyone who supports Naveda are already addressing these 3 key issues because we have integrated this into our business model, and we have taken a lot of initiatives to educate the public about preventive health care, educating about every diseases in this world in a very scientific manner. So it's just not coming from opinions or people who have claimed themselves to become experts. It is really coming from experts who know exactly how the body operates and what is good and what is not. So we will continue to have these kind of webinars and seminars, and hopefully we will be live at Naveda Wellness in Chimsachoy, right opposite the Peninsula Hotel. Yep, so continue joining us. Let your friends know all around the world to join us in these webinars. And we hope to see you soon again. Thank you. And anything else, Dr. Sanjay?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask from all the participants, like today's talk, as Manohar already mentioned, is it helpful for you? Like, because I'm trying to put a deep science in a storytelling way. So that's the whole challenge for me. Like, it's a very hardcore scientific information. I have to convert to a very simple storytelling manner so that every normal human, like every individual from the community, can understand my language. So I just wanted to get a little bit feedback on that. Like, are you comfortable with the language, presentation, and the message which I actually giving to you?
I think it's been put across very well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So message was very clear, right?
I think so. It's been put very simply and very crystal clear.
Thank you. Thank you. So like anyone who didn't understand here, like, or any question, anyone?
Yes. How about the zinc? Is it good for immune system? Zinc.
Yes, yes, yes. But not alone zinc. Zinc is a kind of like, you are asking so many interesting questions, Manohar, but what I need to do here, I need to create another kind of a seminar series where I will only focus on the different kind of nutrition and how this nutrition work in the body. that will be a very interesting one. So not about
Thank you.
COVID, but about zinc. So zinc, yes, zinc is important. Magnesium is important. So there's a list of magnesium and zinc and selenium.
But
Thank
how
you.
do we know the body needs it or not?
No, it's see, right now what happened, like in our science has progressed very much. So in our science, we call it like the old-fashioned science or the new science. The old science is the balanced diet and the nutritional science, which is the old science. The new science is the biochemistry. Biochemistry means our each and every cell of the body need a different kind of nutrient, and how it works, the functionality of that. So we are more depth in cycle and all those kind of things. It's not like a superficial requirement or not requirement. If we take a natural stuff, body has a system to identify, and what is the overdose can reject it. And that's the difference between the chemical and the nature one.
Because we have been told that take zinc 50 mg, but without asking the doctor, is it safe to take it?
No, that's what it is. If it is a chemical molecule, so that goes back to the question of spirulina. So spirulina we present as a whole food. It has everything. It has a zinc, it has a magnesium, it has a potassium, it has everything. So you take the something inside your body and let your body allow to work and identify what is required. But when you given a dose like 50 milligram or 100 milligram, that we call it prescription dose. So prescription dose cannot be given unless we know that whether your body need that much or don't need that much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So spirulina is better than in that way.
Spirulina is a whole food.
Okay.
So you are taking the whole food, and the body is basically working on spirulina to take whatever they require. So that is why we don't prescribe it's not a prescription based. But when you go to the naturopath or the doctors, in a case of COVID-19, hydrochloroquine and the zinc became a very common, and only zinc also became very common. That is why people talking a lot about zinc. So it's a matter of like with certain people.
Okay, so I am going to end this session. It's already 10:45. Like I said, I'm sure there are plenty of questions. We will keep having our webinars. Please continue to join, and please request your family and friends to join as well and share the information out. All right. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, Veena.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Veena.
Yeah, same. Thank you.
Dr. Sanjay, I'm Sumit Agarwal from Bhopal. Dr. Sanjay?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm Sumit Agarwal from Bhopal.
Sumit. Sumit.
Yes.
Very good. Nice to meet you here.
I've been listening throughout to your wonderful explanation, and you put it very well, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's you. Wow. It's so nice to be here. At least like you are watching my, how the message reached to you?
Thanks to Veena, I think I got your mail.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, send me the message. I was about to meet you actually regarding certain stuff because during that event, I could not speak to you.
Yes, it was. We just crossed.
Yeah. So you send me like a message, or you send me through my messenger.
Sure.
And then I will send you more information. Yeah.
Great. It'll be very nice. And thank you, Veena ma'am. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye, sir. Good night.
Bye. Okay.
So let me just make sure they're off. Yep, they're going. Yep, so all okay?
All okay, but like some mistakes. Don't promote because pura it ruin everything. मतलब अभी ये promotion automatic है. ये ऑटोमेटिक है. अभी लोगों को आपको इंप्रेशन देना है वी आर देयर फॉर द कम्युनिटी. दिस इज नो सिंगल लाइन ऑफ द सेल्स because these people will come back. Usually what happen like is a big effort to showing like okay we are there for the community, we are empowering the community. The moment you say things are available in Naveda and product and all, it पूरा वो उसका flip ही बदल जाता पूरा का पूरा. So when I was listening to this, suddenly like many people will develop that kind of mindset that we are selling the product. So this is the technique. For some time we are not selling the product. This is creating the buzz. When more and more people will listen to this, we want them to come to the center when social distancing open up. Okay, so ये अगली बार से ख्याल रखना कि this is a community help seminar. In community health seminar we never talk anything like that. बाकी rest is okay. It become very embarrassing, very honestly telling you कि इतना बढ़िया सेमिनार देके सबको दे रहे थे और उसमें वो सेल्स पिच नहीं आनी चाहिए बीच में.
No, I was wondering because then people will go out and they'll say, I'm buying here, I'm buying spirulina from here, I'm buying this from here.
नहीं, उसकी प्रोसीजर है ना. उसकी प्रोसीजर ये है कि आप उसको बाद में सब कोई को मतलब मनोहर चुप को छोड़ के, क्योंकि दे आर द कम्युनिटी लीडर्स, तो कम्युनिटी लीडर को छोड़ के बाकी लोग को आप ईमेल से फॉलो अप करो. यू नो, ईमेल से फॉलो अप करो. यहाँ पे नहीं. यहाँ पे क्या है कि उसमें क्या है कि जो मेरा साइंटिफिक, क्योंकि जो जिस पोजीशन के साथ हम अपीयर हो रहे हैं वो डाइल्यूट हो जाता पूरा का पूरा. उस पॉइंट को समझना बहुत जरूरी है ना. क्योंकि एक साइंटिफिक प्रोटोकॉल होता है कि व्हेन साइंटिस्ट इज स्पीकिंग, सो यहाँ से यहाँ तक चलेगा, ये से ये चलेगा. तो उसको थोड़ा ध्यान में रखना है ना कि when we are in a scientific protocol and when we are in a promotional protocol. So the logic here is कि we talk a lot, we create a community and we generate the traffic, and you inspire them the traffic in a subtle way that okay, Naveda wellness is in the forefront and we all you to would like to invite all of you to come to Naveda and visit us to see what we are doing when it's open up. So that's it. It's just without telling anything, you just inviting people to come to Naveda. That's a smarter way. Okay, just a little bit feedback. Okay, so good. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I guess people wanted to hear a lot more about the immunity, and there a lot of people are interested in food stuff. You can see, should I take this, should I take that? Nobody really asked about everything else. Of course, those are very important things to remember and to continue, but I think a lot of people want to know about food. How should I take this? Zinc, is that good? Is that good? You know, so that is something that also we should continue.
तो that वो तो इसलिए बोला ना, वो सेमिनार अलग से करेंगे. मेन चीज क्या है कि यहाँ पे आपको एस्टेब्लिश करना, ऑब्जेक्टिव लेके चलना है. ऑब्जेक्टिव से डाइवर्ट नहीं होना है. ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि वी आर एक्सपर्ट ऑन COVID-19. सो वी आर टेलिंग यू क्या करना है आपको COVID-19 में, गैप्स कहाँ पे रह गए, क्या है. तो वो एक आइडेंटिटी जो हो रही है पूरे उसको समझना है. यदि आप सीधे सीधे मतलब लोगों की इंक्वायरी पे आ जाओगे, so why you are not any more special, because again the same thing can be explained by any other people. कि जिंक क्यों लेना है, ये करना, वो एक्सप्लेन करने वाले 200 लोग बैठे हुए हैं हांगकांग के अंदर, लेकिन उसके पहले का जो पार्ट बताया वो एक्सप्लेन करने वाला कोई नहीं. तो वो आपकी यूनिक चीज बनती है वहां से. राइट, so that is the unique format to help people to understand, क्योंकि people need help. ठीक है. Once you help the people, there is a trust. क्योंकि ये जो कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग या एम्पावरमेंट जो बोलते हैं, वो एम्पावरमेंट वही है. तो क्वेश्चन क्या रहता है कि आज की डेट में जो इश्यूज एस्टेब्लिश हुए हैं, वो इशू के ही ऊपर आप बात करो बार बार. ठीक है. ये जो टॉपिक है ये हमेशा चलने वाला, चला पहले भी अपन ने चलाते हैं. तो क्वेश्चन क्या है कि जो चीज लोगों को चाहिए उसमें आप जंप मत करो डायरेक्टली, क्योंकि वो जंप तब करो डायरेक्टली, पहले आप एस्टेब्लिश करो कि भाई क्या है मैकेनिज्म। देखो बीच का स्टेप कहाँ पे गायब हो रहा है कि जब तक आप बायोकेमिस्ट्री को नहीं एस्टेब्लिश कर लोगे, तो कोई भी न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट जाके हल्दी के बारे में बताएगा तो वो ठीक है हल्दी खाओ, ये खाओ, वो खाओ, तो वो हैबिट ब्रेक करनी। नवेदा, लिव लाइफ नवेदा वे इज अ पैराडाइम शिफ्ट, राइट? इट्स अ पैराडाइम शिफ्ट। सो व्हाटएवर योर ऑडियंस इज, उस ऑडियंस को आपको समझाना है कि आपको हमारे हिसाब से सोचना है, ना कि हमको आपके हिसाब से चलना है। वो पूरा का पूरा गेम यही है कि नवेदा जो है वो है लिव लाइफ नवेदा वे। मीन्स वी विल गाइड यू स्टेप बाय स्टेप कि आपको क्या करना है, है ना? तो इसका जो आज एक जो लाइन रखा हुआ है, उसी लाइन को अपन लोग बिल्कुल क्लियर लेते हैं नेक्स्ट सेगमेंट के लिए, और उसी के ऊपर उस चीज को किसी को लगा रहे हो कि कोई है लाइन पे?
मम्मी फोन करी है।
हाँ,
फोन करी है मम्मी।
ओह अच्छा, ठीक है। तो एनीवे ओके, सो इसको डेवलप करते हैं, है ना? और
ओके ओके बाय।
बिकॉज अभी सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग है और लोग नहीं आ रहे हैं, सो वी डोंट वांट टू टेल पीपल मोर। अभी सिर्फ हेल्प करना है लोगों को समझा के कि भाई वी कैन हेल्प यू टू बिकम द वॉरियर ऑफ कोविड, है ना? ये लाइन लेके चलो दिमाग में कि वी आर द यू आर द वॉरियर ऑफ कोविड, है ना? और वो समित अग्रवाल जो है वो मेरा बहुत अच्छा मित्र है वो एक्चुअली।
Yeah, he told me in the beginning. He's like, I know Sanjay.
Yes. नो से ज्यादा है वो एक्चुअली, नो से ज्यादा है।
He has no. He said he has learned from you, or he has done some projects or something.
Yeah, we have done some projects together actually. Yeah. So good. So now विनोद शर्मा से बात करिए नेक्स्ट। अच्छा, कितने लोग टोटल अटेंड हुए थे आज?
15, 16 people were, well, average was 15. People were coming and going. That was, well, but average 15.
Not bad.
There were people coming, going, 16, kabhi 17, but they were not stable. 15 was stable.
Manohar Chuk was there full time.
Even some Chitra, you know that Chitra, I don't know,
From India.
She's, you know her?
No. हो सकता नो, बट आई डोंट नो, लाइक मुझे उसका पिक्चर क्लियर नहीं था तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था। तो इस्पालना का क्वेश्चन कैसे आ गया बीच में?
Manisha, no, there was one lady, she keeps receiving she's my friend. She keeps receiving my messages on Spirulina.
अच्छा.
So she was asking, is it good to take or not? Because she's in my list.
अच्छा, okay.
She keeps receiving my information.
चलो, good, thank you. So अब आप उसको देखो विनोद शर्मा को, and we'll take विनोद शर्मा further, है ना? चलो, thank you.